that were sent in, including could there be growing pains with Joe Brady? What would I do if I were the general manager? We'll talk a little bit about those Nickel City jerseys and helmets, but we start with this question from Food for Me, who says, what are realistic expectations for this year given all of the unknowns? And they mentioned the new head coach, changing how the offense is called, brand new defense. Is it a Super Bowl appearance, division title, missing the playoffs? All right, so generally speaking, I look at the Bills' situation, the roster, the schedule, and I think this is a team that should win at least 10 games. Probably 10 to 12 wins would be my expectation for this football team. The offense should be exceptional. I have very, very high expectations for this offense, especially when you consider there's much more of a transition defensively with the scheme and the coaching. And I think there's a lot of ceiling for the defense, but it's much more of a mystery. We should be able to look at this offense and have high expectations. If we're being honest, though, there's not a lot of history that I can point to where rookie head coaches are taking teams to the Super Bowl. In fact, it's only happened 5 times in the history of the NFL, and of those 5 times, 2 rookie head coaches won the Super Bowl. Now, the good news is that when you point back to the 5 instances, I think there's some similarities to the Bills situation. So let's actually look at the 2 teams that won the Super Bowl with a rookie head coach. It was the 1970 Colts and the 1989 49ers. So Don McCafferty was the Super Bowl winning head coach of the 1970 Colts, taking over for Don Shula, right? And that's probably a pretty good situation that he inherited. And then George Seifert with the 1989 49ers, of course, he took over for Bill Walsh. Now you had 3 rookie head coaches get to the Super Bowl and lose. Red Miller with the 1977 Broncos, Bill Callahan with the 2002 Raiders, and Jim Caldwell with the 2009 Colts. Now, the 77 Broncos, that was not really the same as the next 2. That was a situation where the Broncos were like, okay, I think they were 9-5 the year before Red Miller became the head coach, and then they went to the Super Bowl and lost. But Bill Callahan, that's the 2002 Raiders taking over for that John Gruden team. And then Jim Caldwell in 2009 with the Colts, he took over for that Tony Dungy team. So the point that I'm making here is that you have really well-established football teams that had a rookie head coach kind of step in and take things over. And that's obviously what makes the Bills a unique situation with a rookie head coach, because most of the time you have a rookie head coach, they're going to situations like the Dolphins. They're going to situations like the Raiders, right? Where Clint Kubiak and Jeff Hafley also went. There's not a lot of instances where it's a team like the Bills or even the Ravens. They have a rookie head coach this year. It's pretty unique. And so I think that does allow you to have higher expectations than what the norm is for a rookie head coach that's taking over usually a team that is in the dumps. But if we're being honest, it is a rookie head coach. It's a rookie defensive coordinator. It's an average roster with an elite quarterback. I guess my expectations come down to this. The Bills didn't embrace this change to go backwards. It's about going forward. We all watched Terry Pagula tell us why he fired Sean McDermott, and he lost his belief that Sean McDermott was the guy that can get them over the hump, right? To do it, right? He lost his belief in doing that. You didn't hire Joe Brady because you wanted to continue stalling out in the playoffs or, not making it at all. So my expectation for this team is that I want to feel like it is a team that is truly advancing and going forward and not backwards. Does that mean a Super Bowl? I mean, I always struggle with that idea that the only way a season can be successful is that a team goes to the Super Bowl and wins it. I just refuse to live in a world where 31 teams had a failure of a season and 1 was successful. I have the urgency that you have. I mean, Josh Allen's 30. I get all the stuff. I want the Bills to win the Super Bowl. I think they can do it. They have 17 at quarterback. Of course I believe they can do it. But this isn't a year that I enter the season with a ton of confidence that this is the year. I've certainly felt that way about previous seasons. I expect this team to win 10 to 12 games and go on a playoff run, and for ultimately me believe that this team is moving forward and that it's not going backwards. Tim says,
Buffalo did not fire Sean McDermott, hand the team to Joe Brady, and enter a brand new stadium just to arrive at the same painful ending again. That is the standard now. Not another respectable season, not another division banner, not another January where Josh Allen plays like a superhero and Buffalo still walks away trying to explain what went wrong. The realistic expectation for this team is somewhere between 10 and 12 wins. The offense should be exceptional. Josh Allen is still one of the most dangerous players in football, and there is real belief that this may be his best supporting cast in several years. But the defense is the mystery. New coordinator, new structure, new responsibilities, young players being asked to develop quickly, veterans learning different alignments and different rules, and that is why this entire Joe Brady situation is so fascinating. Rookie head coaches almost never walk directly into Super Bowl-ready situations. Most of them take over broken teams, unstable quarterback rooms, and rosters that need years of work. Brady is stepping into something completely different. He has Josh Allen. He has an offense capable of finishing among the league's best. He has a team that already understands playoff pressure. That creates opportunity, but it also removes excuses. Joe Brady was not hired to keep Buffalo comfortable. He was hired because ownership no longer believed the previous formula could get this team over the hump. That message is impossible to ignore. Buffalo did not embrace change to move backward. Josh Allen is 30 years old. That does not mean his career is almost over, but it does mean the Bills cannot keep treating every season like there will always be another perfect opportunity waiting next year. This window is real, the urgency is real, and every roster decision has to be judged through that reality. The analyst called this an average roster with an elite quarterback. That is harsh, and the Bills Mafia may completely reject it, but the point underneath the criticism matters. Josh Allen changes the expectations for everyone around him. A team with number 17 should not be satisfied with simply making the playoffs. A team with Josh Allen should believe it can reach the Super Bowl. But belief alone is not enough. Buffalo has to prove the defense can hold up when playoff offenses attack the middle. It has to prove the pass rush can finish. It has to prove Joe Brady can manage the pressure of close games without becoming conservative. And maybe the Bills should still ask whether one familiar veteran could help. Von Miller. Let's make this completely clear. There is no confirmed Bills offer, there is no reported visit, there is no verified negotiation. This is a hypothetical reunion, not breaking news. But Miller plans to play in 2016, and he is coming off a 9-sack season. At 37 years old, nobody should expect him to return as an every-down franchise pass rusher. That version of Von Miller is gone. The question is whether Buffalo would need that version. What if the Bills brought him back for 20 snaps a game? Third and long, obvious passing situations, late in the fourth quarter when an offensive tackle is tired and one pressure can end the game. That is where Miller could still provide value. He understands how to attack protection. He knows how to set up blockers. He has played in championship games, won Super Bowls, and lived inside the pressure Buffalo is trying to conquer. And he already knows this organization. That matters because this would not be about another massive contract or building the defense around him. It would be about adding a specialist to a rotation with Greg Rousseau, Bradley Chubb, TJ Parker, and Michael Holt. Use him selectively, keep his legs fresh, ask him to win one or two critical pass rush situations. That could make sense. The emotional side is obvious. Von's first run in Buffalo never became what everyone imagined after the knee injury changed everything. A return would offer a chance for a different ending, but Buffalo cannot make the decision emotionally. The medical evaluation must be honest, the contract must be cheap, the role must be defined. The Bills cannot pay for the memory of Von Miller. They would need to pay only for what he can still provide now. That is the balance Joe Brady and Brandon Beane have to find throughout this season. Be aggressive without becoming desperate. Trust Josh Allen without asking him to save everything. Build for January without pretending the regular season doesn't matter. 10 to 12 wins should be the expectation. A real playoff run should be the expectation. Visible progress should be the expectation. And if Buffalo finishes this season looking exactly like the same team that kept falling short, then the change will not have accomplished what it was designed to accomplish. Joe Brady has a rare opportunity. He's a rookie head coach inheriting an elite quarterback, a proven contender, and a fan base that is tired of almost. Von Miller would not guarantee a Super Bowl, but if he can still deliver pressure in limited moments, a low-cost reunion could give Buffalo another veteran answer for the exact games that define this era. Bills Mafia, be honest. Would you bring Von Miller back for one final championship run, or has Buffalo already closed that chapter? Tell me I'm wrong in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe for more Bills news and rumors, and let's talk about whether this new era will finally produce a different ending.